Right now, we are talking about setting. For the setting, one thing that I have focused on is the idea of what is your character seeing or experiencing. I want you to try and think through your setting from your character's eyes, from your character's ears. So you're not sitting here as someone in the clouds watching the story unfold. You are a part of the character. You're seeing what they see. You're hearing what they hear. So the first question, instead of what does your setting look like, it is what does your character see in your setting? So my character, he's an elf. We know that he's going to be living in a castle. But because he's an elf, this castle is going to be a tree castle. So instead of a tree house, we're going to have a tree castle. Okay? We have large, leafy trees that are green in summer and gold in winter. Okay. In the distance, he can see mountains. In the mountains, the trees are slightly smaller. And then I'll kind of keep looking around. What is my character looking? What is he seeing? Okay, there's a lot of animals. You'll see some animals, and so you'll see animals. That's what my character is going to see. I'm thinking, what is he seeing? He's looking around, seeing animals, and then caves in the mountains. He's going to go to the mountains. He's going to find caves in the mountains. Second question. What does your character smell? We're going to go through all 5 senses. So then think, what is my character going to smell? He will smell trees, right? We're having a lot of trees, so he's going to smell fresh leaves. Okay, that rain, this rain scent. So you know how after it rains, you can smell that clean air. And then remember, he's moving now. He's going to go from that leafy castle, from the elves' kingdom, into the mountains where there's caves. The caves are going to smell like sulfur, burning things, and uncooked meat. After that, we move on to what does your character feel? So is he feeling hot? Is he feeling cold? Is he feeling dusty? Is it wet? So in that forest, it's going to be damp. It rains often, right? So then it's that wet feeling. It's damp, warm, and very little sun. So you know how you can feel sun on your skin? This is a big forest, tall trees, very little sun gets through. In the mountains, it's going to be dry, cold, sunny. In the caves, we're going to get musty. And we have, what does your character hear? So my character, he's going to hear birds, wolves. He's going to hear the voices of other elves. Then we're going to go into the mountains and caves, and going to hear rumbles. Like a constant earthquake. So that's what the dragons are going to sound like. Rumbles, He's going to hear the whistling of steam rising out of holes. Okay, so what will my character taste? I'm kind of thinking of the foods that my character will eat. We look at my character. What kind of foods does he like? Well, I like, he likes porridge. He likes vegetables. He likes chicken. But I'm thinking he's taking a trip. He's probably going to have to eat different types of foods, right? So he's going to have to eat roots. Going to have to eat fruit. He hates fruit, but he's going to have to eat fruit because there's going to only be so much. And he's going to have to eat squirrel. It's not going to be all that much. And squirrel and rabbit. That's what he's going to have to eat.
You have to eat squirrel's meat?
Yeah, because remember, he's going on a trip to the mountains. There's not a lot of food there. And hard bread. Okay, that's what he will have to eat. And he's just going to be drinking water. Alright, the last question, we get a little bit away from the character's senses. And I ask you a question, can you still see it? I don't know how much of it all you can see. It's a little bit blurry, a little bit unfortunate. But the history of your place. Alright, so when you think of a setting, normally think of what are you seeing, what are you feeling, what are you smelling? There's a little bit more, and that's the history of the place. Because the relationship that the dragons have with the elves is part of the setting. That's part of the world in which my character is. For your character, you'll have the same thing. There's going to be some history going on. Okay, so in my history, the elves have been at war with the dragons ever since they landed. The elves moved here because they had to flee their old land. And then I should do something with the king. The king has ruled for, he's an elf, so he's going to live a long time. We'll have for 50 years. And he's been beating the dragons. So they're at war, the king's been winning. So then I have a little bit of history. That's the setting of my story. Try and come up with that setting, thinking what is your character seeing, feeling, experiencing. But then also think what is that background information about this world or this place that I have.